does somebody do that? Like, be like a connection point?
Well, the number one foundation of that is to genuinely care about them and to be. The Alter Rebbe says in Perek Lamed Beis of Tanya, right, that the Alter Rebbe says if you want to connect someone to Torah and mitzvahs, the most effective way to connect them to Torah and mitzvahs is through genuine unconditional love. And then the Alter Rebbe adds, if you have genuine unconditional love, hoping that it's going to connect someone to Torah and mitzvahs, and it doesn't end up connecting them to Torah and mitzvahs, you know what? You had genuine unconditional love for someone. There's no loss here. So, and the truth is that this really, there is a spiritual layer and component to that, and there's a very simple human physiological layer and component to that too, which is that people need connection. We need to feel accepted. And any acceptance that is conditional is not true acceptance. And even just very biologically and physiologically, historically, for most of human history, survival was very, very dependent on being part of a secure and strong tribe and or community. Right? Being on your own was extraordinarily dangerous. It was probably being on one's own out in the wild would have probably cost someone their life sooner than having no food and probably even not having water. It's very quick for things to be taken care of under circumstances like that. So belonging and feeling genuinely accepted and valued is an extremely primal need that we have as people. And when that is missing, our body will go to our subconscious, our nervous systems will go to very great lengths to seek that approval and acceptedness. And if this is the most fundamental need that we have, as long as that's not met, there's no bandwidth available for anything else. So, and the reality is that unfortunately, I think it's fair to say probably most people, a lot of people certainly, do not naturally have a genuine feeling of being truly, unconditionally valued and accepted. And it's not necessarily because they weren't genuinely unconditionally valued and accepted. Oftentimes they were, but there might be, especially some people are more sensitive to these things than others, but there might be a misunderstanding of particular moments that resulted in the development of a narrative of not being truly, genuinely, unconditionally loved and accepted and valued. But whether or not they were genuinely valued and accepted is irrelevant to their ability to have bandwidth available for other things. The only thing that matters is whether they subconsciously, their body, their nervous system feels that they were genuinely, unconditionally accepted and valued. And so most people could use a point of genuine, unconditional acceptance and value and love. And showing that to someone can be the thing that finally allows them to be able to have bandwidth available for something other than seeking that desperately their whole life. Most people could use that, right? So just being there for someone, showing them, not telling them, showing them, demonstrating so that their body feels that there is this one place, this one space, this one relationship where I am loved, I'm valued, I am accepted unconditionally no matter what. all of a sudden the body can rest. And then all of a sudden, I mean, might not show up in a second, but now the body can start over time to be able to divert resources and bandwidth and energy, etc., to things other than just trying to find that so it can survive. So this is a very primal thing that's built into our physiology at a very deep level, and that the Alter Rebbe says that the most powerful and effective tool for connecting someone to Torah mitzvahs is loving them unconditionally. If someone doesn't have that in their life, you can't expect, and by expect I don't mean demand, I mean practically expect them to do anything that doesn't come naturally to them. Because their body is just trying to survive. It's just trying to, if it feels like it's not unconditionally accepted and valued and it doesn't belong somewhere unconditionally, it's just trying not to become breakfast for the next lion, figuratively. It doesn't have bandwidth available for like fancy ideas and spiritual things. But the moment that it feels that, it's like, oh, and then it can start to work on those other things. So I would say that practically, and obviously there are other parts to it, but I would say don't sleep on that, because that's 95% of the picture. And then after that, every little bit can be something, but without that, it's all nothing. And it's not even like, that's a prerequisite, and then there's the whole building. It's like, that is 95% of the picture. And even without anything else, very often, a lot of times people don't need much else. They'll figure that out. They're already there. They might have the information. It's just that there's this thing that's been holding them back from being able to connect or being able to follow or being able to, you know, to make all of that real a part of their life. And if they just get that primal need addressed and resolved, they might not need much of anything else. And they might. But that's maybe 5% of the picture.